sure what the mat assignments are. I'm assuming, okay, one is to our left, 2 is to our right.
Okay, you don't hear anything. And
we're underway on mat number 2.
And on mat number 1, we have Kason Edgerton from New Lisbon and Carrick Thompson from Ithaca Weston. On mat number 2, we have Calvin Marks from Hillsborough and Cameron Worrell from River Ridge, Cassville.
Jacob, you kind of keep an eye on that match there. Marks with the early lead on mat number 2. Quick little takedown. Freshman and sophomore basically in this weight class. Do have a junior, number 1 seed, Jaron Grimsled.
And Edgerton with the early takedown on mat 1. And he has criteria for back points.
Oh, I guess he is a 11th grader too. I didn't see that until just now.
Yep. No, 11th grader, first year wrestler with the fall in a minute 6. Kason Edgerton advances to the semifinals. Next up on mat number 1, we have Brendan Rick from Royal and Haley Yacton from DeSoto.
We are 2-1 on mat number 2 over here with Marks with the slimmest of leads. First period's coming to a close. And that's the end of the first period on mat 2.
And wrestling is underway on mat number 1 now. Rick in on the legs early. Up and takedown to the back. And no back points out of that, just takedown.
We do have a 4-1 lead now on mat number 2 for Marks from Hillsborough. Marks gets his choice and he chooses to go neutral.
Fall on mat 1.
In 27 seconds.
Like he had a double arm bar there.
Yeah, that looked like it's pretty snug, you guys. He run a good arm bar. So that was Rick with the win. What'd you have on the time of fall there, Chris? 27?
27 seconds, yep.
Okay. And I guess that'll show up on his track, won't it?
Yep, once they get that built in, yep.
Okay. The fall for Edgerton was what,
106, yep.
106. Just to kind of keep track a little bit. We got another takedown down here for Marks. He's leading 6-1. We just got a technical violation against him. Not sure what that was.
Next up on mat number 1 at 113, we have Chloe Turner and from Royal and Tristan Hughes from Kickapoo Lafarge. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
That's I'm considering that you're in charge today, Chris,
oh,
so
okay.
You can butt in anytime you want.
Well, in that case.
You want to see that reflected in your paycheck?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, me too. A little dig on Ken here.
And we have Hughes with the early takedown. Score 2-0.
I'm just going to set this back here. Marks from Hillsborough just kind of cruising along here with 6-2 lead. He's 30 seconds left in the second period. Seems to be in control. Just been warned for stalling. So they'll restart. He wasn't getting off to the side and working working the pinning combinations, just kind of hanging out there riding. I like to see the refs that keep the wrestlers moving. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Need to keep things moving, keep the action. We weren't plugged in all the way.
In all the way. I don't know if that's going to help.
Well, we're going to have a reversal here on mat number 2.
And a fall in 146 on mat 1 with Hughes advancing on to the semifinals. That sets the field for the semis at 113, only 6 wrestlers in the weight class this year. Or 5 wrestlers, excuse me.
Moving to 120 already. Yep. Yeah, this should go fairly quick today, I think.
Yes, yep, absolutely. So it looks like next up on mat number 1, we have from New Lisbon, Aiden Brown and Lucas Orloff, number 1 seed from Peck Argyle at 120.
We got a full bracket? No, not quite. Yeah, we do. Awesome.
Early takedown for Orloff and concedes the escape.
Got marks on that too, looking for nice barbed wire.
He's quiet. You seem to be a little quiet, Jed.
We're still not getting sound.
There's the
got it.
fall.
And Orloff looking for the fall still on mat number 1. Threading that needle there a little bit, getting things tight. Brown continues to fight off his back. Great fight for Brown.
Yes. Yeah, it's turning white, going like left to right. Yeah, it's
And Orloff out in front again with another takedown, puts the score at 9-2, and he's got Brown on his back again. And Orloff with the fall in 103 at 120, advancing on to the semifinals.
So who we got coming up on mat 2 here?
Mat 2, we have at 120, we have Devin Pangburn from New Lisbon and Logan Gajeski from Hillsboro.
So we are done with 113.
Yes, 113
one
is
match
done.
in 113.
Yep.
Okay, so we're moving. All right.
And this first round usually goes pretty quickly at this tournament, and then we get into the semis and the wrestlebacks, and things kind of slow down a little bit, but we should still be in for a great day of wrestling. On mat number 1, we have Jet Bender from Royal and Dom Thorgerson from Kickapoo Lafarge. And Bender with the quick takedown, 9 seconds to get that takedown to go up 2-0.
Right
Has
to
a
an
nice,
arm bar.
yeah, right to an arm bar and getting that turn, working on getting that turn. Now he's got criteria.
So what
He's working hard for a fall there, Chris.
Yeah, looking at Pangburn over here, battling hard against Gajeski from Hillsboro. And Gajeski just, both wrestlers continuing to scramble, not conceding any points yet on the edge of the mat. So far it's been a good scramble. Pangburn
Get out of
out of
bounds and
bounds.
start over.
Yep, we got a fresh start there, and no points or 2 points scored. Looks like a takedown given to Gajeski at some point in there. Bender's still looking for the pin with a minute left on mat 1.
Yeah, that's a long time to be fighting there. That's
there with the fall, minute 33. Had him on his back for almost a minute and 20 seconds of that match. So, great fight by Thorgerson there, not giving up the quick pin, but it's a long time to fight off your back.
That should bring up Ethan Stoll from Ithaca Weston and Brady Burmeister.
Yep. That's what I'm showing as well. Brady Burmeister and Ethan Stoll.
Okay, so Bender moves on, correct?
Correct. Yep.
We're all tied up down here in mat number 2.
Heading into the second period.
Yeah. I guess I looked away for a second, so I'm not sure how the points were scored. I'm assuming reversal because
and Stoll with the quick takedown right to his back. Quick pin there. 15 seconds on the pin there. And Stoll advancing on to the semifinals. Ithaca Weston's done a nice job these last couple of years bringing that, building that team and keeping that team strong. Strong JV wrestlers, strong varsity wrestlers. I'm sure it's a battle every day in that wrestling room. We are on to 126 on mat number 1 now. This looks to be Zachary Bell from Hillsborough and Caston Gazda from Brookwood.
So we're still tied up on mat number 2 over here, Chris. So we got a good little battle going.
Yeah, I know Pangburn was out most of the season. Not sure why he didn't come back. He didn't start wrestling until later in the season. Not sure injury or ill or what the hold up with him getting out was, or back on the mat was. But he's been battling hard and working hard in the room, talking to the coaching staff, and he's really coming a long way. And hopefully he sees some success today, and continues to see some success into the regional tournament as well.
Yeah, I see his record here was 0-0, so obviously no time on the mat.
All right, what lights are on at the top? So like there's a turny button and it's got a green light. And then the picture is lit up with red. And then there's
We have a takedown on mat 1. Looks like
And then a reversal.
And then a reversal, yeah. So we're tied up 2-2 going into the second minute of first period in mat 1. No change in control in the second period in mat 2. It's been quite a battle. Still both wrestlers working hard to try and score points and keep moving.
They're both being pretty stubborn, Chris.
I think that comes naturally to most of us.
Exactly.
At least ask my wife; she'll tell me that it does.
Good little battle going on.
Yep.
Oh, we got locked hands.
We got a locked hands call there, so that'll be a point for New Lisbon.
Yeah. So the rule on that is because he has both legs trapped, it's locked hands.
Yep.
He needed to switch to one leg, and then it would not have been locked hands. So good call by the ref.
Up next on mat number 1, we have Jacob Jacks for New Lisbon, junior for New Lisbon, and Luke Sig from Pecatonica Argyle.
What weight is that?
This is at 126.
I'm just going to kind of hang out here at 120. They're moving right along. So I'll keep an eye on mat number 2. There's a good double leg by.
Nice double leg, or nice single by Jacks, transitioning to the takedown. Good score and a half, and looks like he's looking for that quick pin there too. All he's got to do is settle his hips, and he's looking pretty. The official on this mat, Brad Rosh, I found out this morning in the coaches meeting, is actually going to be at the team state tournament this year. So that's a great experience for a young ref, and a great honor for him to be able to help down there and get that experience. So
at Team State?
At Team State, yep.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, yep. So it just goes to show the pedigree of the officials that we have here at this tournament. It's a great officiating crew.
I've actually been watching him throughout the years. He's done a lot of middle school, and yeah, he does a very nice job. So we're coming down here the last 40 seconds on mat number 2, and we got a 4-3 lead for Hillsborough. Yep.
Up next on mat number 1, we have looks like Alex Radovich of New Lisbon and Kevin Rhodes of Pecatonica Argyle. So looking, Alex Radovich being the 2 seed at 126. So looks like it was a good battle on mat number 2.
Yeah, so we got a 4-3. Oh, and a fall on.
Quick fall, 27 seconds on mat 1 for Radovich, advancing on to the semis.
Tight little win there for Hillsboro, 4-3.
At 132 now on mat 1, we have Gunnar Wopat, number 1 seed, Ben Radovich for New Lisbon. And then on mat number 2.
I completely missed 126. That went by pretty fast.
Yes, it did.
So we're all the way up to 32 now.
.132 on mat number 2. It looks to be Hunter Moe from Ithaca Weston and Kai Pekonen from Brookwood.
Well, I'm glad you can pronounce these names, Chris, 'cause it looks a little tough.
I just make it sound good.
Well, you got my vote. The Lisbon boy here on mat 1's got an arm all taped up. Or is that just a sleeve?
It's a sleeve.
Of some sort. Must have a little ding of some sort.
Yeah. This is Ben Radovich. He's Alex Radovich's younger brother.
He's going to have his hands full there, I think.
Oh, yeah, yep, for sure.
Gunner's pretty solid.
Two-time state qualifier?
I believe so.
Yes.
Maybe even a place. I can't remember if he placed.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
I think they did. Him and
we've talked about the quality of the refs at this tournament, but you can't discount the quality of the wrestlers that we have in the Scenic Bluffs, Six Rivers, and conference tournament. We've got multiple state qualifiers, multiple state place winners. These wrestlers really do put the time in and out of season to get to their goals and get down to Madison at the end of the year. So it's really fun to see when all these top quality wrestlers come together. And we've seen some battles at this tournament over the years.
yeah, that's a good point, Chris. We don't have the quantity. Basically, there's probably no one here with a full team, but we got some good kids here. There's some good boys, and they're all working hard. There's a fall on mat number 1 for the Brookwood lad. I guess I didn't get his name.
Yeah, Kai Pekonen, freshman, 16 and 18 wrestler. Up next on mat number 2, we'll have Landon Sanders from DeSoto and Andrew Hora from Hillsboro. Score on mat 1 right now is 8-3 in favor of Gunnar Wopet from Royal. No quit in Ben Radovich, so give him a lot of credit right there. He's working hard to keep things close and stay in the match.
So on mat 2, we've got Sanders from DeSoto and Hora, is that right?
Yep.
From Hillsboro. Quick takedown for Sanders. Sanders with a 17-11 record. He's a junior. I think most everybody on DeSoto's team is a junior.
Yeah, they're a fairly well-seasoned team this year.
Yeah, they're on the uptick.
Wopat in on the legs, but no score yet. There's the takedown there. He's got that leg turked, so looking for a fall.
Did you happen to get that fall time on mat 2, Hunter?
No.
It's fairly quick, I think.
Yeah.
Sanders got Hoare in some trouble right away. He's got a nice little arm bar going. Scoring some back points.
And another takedown for Wopat there at the edge of the mat, taking advantage of a off shot, conceding the escape right away on the restart. Score 12-6. With a minute left in the second period. Nice shot by Wopat there. Takes Radovich to his back. Referee holding 2, now coming back into account for criteria again there.
Sanders and DeSoto with the fall.
Holding 3 now.
Did you catch that time, Jacob? I didn't catch it.
They reset the clock.
It was first period, so it was about probably like a minute.
Score now 14-6 in favor of Wopat on mat 1 as we come to the close of the second period.
Pretty confident on his feet, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yep, it's good.
Yep.
Fun to watch.
Yep, 17-6 now as we go into the third period. And choice of neutral.
Over on mat 2, we've got Ewing from Kickapoo Lafarge against Orloff, Peck Argyle. Quick takedown for Orloff. Out of bounds they go. Okay, that's they can't scissors like that, can they?
Nope, they can't scissor the head.
There you go. He
Yep,
just
yep, he did
so
call
that's
that.
just a potentially dangerous. That's not a penalty point.
Yeah, it is a penalty. That's an illegal hold. 18-6 now the score. And with the takedown, that makes it 20-6. If he doesn't get the fall here, that'll be a tech fall then, holding 3 near fall.
Orloff with another quick little takedown.
And 3 near fall gives the tech fall there. With a minute 15 left in the third period. And that'll bring us into 138, sorry. Only 4 wrestlers at 138, so they'll wrestle those in the when we get to the semifinals then. So that'll bring up, actually, we'll be moving into 144 on mat 1.
Maybe not.
No, maybe not. Looks like same thing at 144, only 3 wrestlers at 144 with Colin McKittrick having a bye all the way to the finals.
We got a fall down here on mat number 2, guys. In a minute. Over a minute now. That was Orloff with the fall.
So it looks like our next matches are going to be at 150. We have Jacob Glidden from North Crawford Seneca and Will Dosher from Pecatonica Argyle on mat 1. And I'm going to assume that it's going to be Braden Scaife and Channing Wheaton on mat number 2. Scaife from River Ridge Cassville and Channing from Ithaca Weston.
We're all the way up to 50, okay.
Yep, we're at 150 now. And we've got a 2-0 score on mat 1, blood stoppage for blood. We'll switch over to mat 2.
Yeah, we got
that's getting cleaned up.
This Wheaton boy here is first-year wrestler, come out, and I guess he wanted to see what it was all about, so he's learning curve's a little steep for him, Chris, but he's tickles me that he's out for the sport.
Oh, yeah.
I just absolutely no experience from what I've understand. Boy, the boy from River Ridge, 43 matches.
That's a couple of big tournaments anymore. It doesn't take much
Yeah,
to get
that's
to those 50 matches. I mean, I remember back when I wrestled, you know, you were a senior by the time you were getting your 100 matches, and so it was really, I mean, 100 wins even was something really special, because you could only wrestle so many matches in a year before regionals and sectionals. Now, I mean, now not taking anything away from these 100-win wrestlers, it's still an impressive career milestone, but we're seeing more and more wrestlers pushing that 150, 175, almost 200 win mark throughout their careers, and that's just that is equally as impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy, because I wrestled less than 30 matches each year, my junior and senior year. That's back in the 70s. That's been a while ago, but we did not wrestle like they're wrestling now.
Yeah, I think when I wrestled in the 90s, we could only have 25 matches before you headed into regionals.
That sounds about right. So Jacob over here, he had 55 or 6 matches his senior year.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. Yeah, so the 100 win is, well, I think the new 100 win mark is probably 150.
Yeah.
You know,
but again, not taking anything
No.
away from these
Oh
100
my
win
gosh.
wrestlers, because
No.
it's still
I guess I'm just jealous.
right. Yeah, I would have loved to have wrestled, you know, 150, 200 matches when I was in high school.
Kidding. Yeah. I think I had a total of 80. Maybe not even that. Yeah, it's really evolved, hasn't it?
Yep.
It's way different than it ever used to be.
It looks like we're cutting blood time on mat 1. We're getting just a little bit of cleanup left, and then ready to get back to the action. A score of 2-0 in favor of Will Dosher from Pecatonica Argyle.
River Ridge lad out here just kind of chugging away and got a 9-1 lead. Check that, 11-1.
And we got a stack there and a fall in 27 seconds following the blood time. A quick pin following blood time there on mat 1.
And we got a fall on mat number 2.
So that'll bring up our last match at 150 will be Reese Drew from River Ridge Cassville and Trenton Baldwin from DeSoto. Trying to see which mat they're going to call that to. Looks like Reese Drew and Trenton Baldwin will be wrestling on mat 1. And we're going to be moving right on into 157 with Lakota Webster and Nick from DeSoto and Nick Bird from New Lisbon should be our next match up on mat 2.
So that was Dosher, right?
Yes.
Last. Okay. I'm just trying to keep things current here. From Peck Argyle.
Dosher one?
Fall.
Yep. Fall 27 seconds. And a quick takedown and back point right into a cradle and a quick fall. 14 seconds on mat 1 for Lakota Webster.
Baldwin, right?
For Baldwin, yep, of DeSoto. I had changed my brackets over to 157.
What'd you have in that time? 14?
14 seconds. Next up on mat number 1, we should have Turner Calhoun from Royal and Joe Childs from River Ridge Cassville.
All right, so we can.
Nope.
Nolan Waldner gets the bye at 157.
No, this is 175 on mat number 2 now.
Okay, well, 165 only has 4 guys, Chris. So
Yep.
that explains that. Okay.
So 175, we have, this will be Tyler Brewer from River Ridge Cassville and Maverick McCauley from Kickapoo Lafarge. And looks like off to a quick 4-0 start.
Who do we got down here, Jacob? That's
Nick Bird from New Lisbon and
Webster from DeSoto.
Dakota
Okay.
Webster from DeSoto.
Okay.
a quick fall, 39 seconds. At 175 on mat 1, we have Jack Schreier from Cashton and Sam Widemeyer from Brookwood. Schreier with the early takedown in the match. Score 2-0 at this point. Working an arm bar, got that dug out.
Over here on mat number 2, we've got a 4-3 lead for Bird from New Lisbon. Boys are scrapping pretty good.
Bird, a second-year wrestler from New Lisbon, wrestled middle school last year, 8th grade for us, for the Rockets, and really came a long way in that season, and really continuing to grow as this team moves through the season. And Schreier for the early win at 175.
That was a fall, but I didn't get the time.
I did not see the time either on that.
It'll show up on your screen.
Sooner or later.
Yeah.
So next up, we are at 190 on mat 1.
Well, this is my great niece here.
Okay.
Chris.
Kaylee Manning from Ithaca Weston and Trenton Fry from...
I guess maybe she decided not to wrestle him, and probably a good choice.
So that'll bring up, next up at 190 will be Ryan McCoy and Addison Ebert from Royal. Ryan McCoy from Hillsborough and Addison Ebert from Royal.
So we had a fall here on mat 2. I believe that it was
Lakota Webster.
Webster.
From DeSoto.
Okay, I didn't. I looked away, and yeah, that's how quick that happens.
And we're on to 215 on mat 2.
So we should have.
Looks like Barullo Rodriguez from, no, we got 2 Ithaca Weston wrestlers.
At 215, that's going to be Caleb Berkram and Ben Otto.
Perfect, thank you. Yep, we do have a 1 versus 8 seed.
So, yeah, they're not going to wrestle. So, guys, on 157 between Royal and River Ridge, did you guys, is that up? No, you're way ahead, aren't you?
Yeah.
Calhoun and Childs, I didn't.
Whoa, what's
Are you-
this one?
I don't know.
Everything I've seen, that one's red in all the pictures I've looked
Oh, that blanks out the middle, Christy.
Well, we'll have to get that 157
Yeah, did they wrestled that
I
Turner and
don't know.
Childs?
I didn't see that match wrestled.
I did not either. And now these boys are certainly not 157.
No, this is 215 on mat number 2, getting ready to wrestle on 215 is going to be Barulo Rodriguez from Brookwood and Chris Clark from Kickapoo Lafarge. And on mat number 1, we have Trey Bailey, a senior from New Lisbon, and Bryzik Steen from Royal.
So we jumped right over 192 then, or was there?
There were a couple matches at 190.
All
Yeah,
right,
this first
yeah.
round is moving pretty quick today. A lot of hand fighting here at 215 match on both mats. Which, expected to see at these upper weight classes, more hand fighting, jockeying for position, moving each other around, trying to wear each other out. Not as much of the quick action as we typically expect to see at the lower weights. Both wrestlers working for control on mat 2, break each other up, reset, and come back in here shortly, I'm sure. Still a nice collar tie on both wrestlers on mat number 1. Again, working for that position, trying to get inside, working for takedowns, but not really being able to open each other up at this point. And there we have a nice snap down and go behind for 2 for Bailey from New Lisbon. That gives us a score of 2-0 on mat number 1. Still no score on mat number 2. Looking for a head throw here, and there's the takedown to his back. And two back points there, so that gives us a 4-0 lead on mat number 2.
That happened pretty fast, didn't it?
Yep, and then back on their feet. So
we got one escape.
Loss of control there.
Yep.
For Brookwood.
That is Rodriguez and Clark.
Rodriguez.
End of the first period on mat 1. We have a score of 2-0 in favor of Trey Bailey from New Lisbon. Deferred the choice to the third period, and Royal Bryzik Steen from Royal chose top.
We got a 4-1 lead over here, Chris, on mat number 2 for Clark.
And nice quick reversal there, and a half to his back. Good scramble by Steen on the bottom, trying to get off his back, and almost got the reversal out of that too. That gives Bailey a score of 6-0 as we continue wrestling in the second period. And Bailey with the fall in 2:43 against Steen from Royal. So Bailey will advance on to the semifinals at 2:15. And that'll bring up our final match at 2:15. Hunter Hatland from North Crawford Seneca and Justin Obert, number 2 seed from DeSoto.
There
Clark
we
with
go.
the fall on that 2.
3-minute mark for Clark.
So bringing up our first match of the quarterfinals at 285, will be Mad McCluskey from Royal and Dom Corney from New Lisbon.
So, Chris, you had Bailey pinning down there?
Yep,
Okay.
Bailey with the fall.
Just going to try to keep my book up to speed here. We must be made our way to the heavies.
Yep, 285. This is our first match at 285.
And this still is 215 on 1. Okay.
215 on 1, yep.
We got Hunter Mateen and Justin Obert on mat 1. Hunter's
Nice go behind there for Corny on mat number 1 or mat number 2 for the takedown.
Imagine these boys have seen each other a couple times, huh?
Yeah, I know they saw each other at the dual meet, and I'm sure they've seen each other at a couple of tournaments throughout the season too. Corny getting a little high, needs to get home. Keep working on position there.
Now, did he wrestle heavyweight last year, Chris?
No, he did not wrestle last year. He took the season off. He actually was working on his Eagle Scout project last year, and getting that finalized and all the paperwork and everything for that done. So that was his priority as a junior last year, and good for him for taking that extra effort to do that. And then this year he came back out. Last year, New Lisbon's heavyweight was Keenan Josette, ended up qualifying for the state tournament.
Right. I didn't think he was the same boy.
And Corny with the
quick fall there.
with 153 or 53 second.
Fall here on mat number 1 too. Then Obert with the fall. I didn't catch the time.
I didn't catch the time either. And then up next, we should be seeing Owen Callahan from River Ridge, Cassville, and Jaden McGraw from Hillsboro. And that looks like that's going to be our match on mat 1. And then Bennett Coder from Kickapoo Lafarge and Henry Brigham from Cashton. Kind of a changing of the guards at heavyweight this year between New Lisbon and Cashton. Henry Brigham, an outstanding wrestler, coming in at the number 2 seed. He's had a great year, and we'll hopefully he has a strong postseason.
Good finish, yep. Pretty common name up there.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. This one? Right. Thanks, Christy.
Don't go too far, Christy.
We've got.
Wow, we missed.
Missed a quick pin over there.
Okay, that was. I feel really bad. I didn't even see. Who
I
came
didn't
out.
either. We were getting some technical support.
Yeah.
We all looked away. So now looks like we're back around to 106, and we have wrestling now at 106 on mat 1 is going to be on the wrestleback side, Yatkin from DeSoto and Whirl from River Ridge, Cassville.
Quick takedown for the gal from DeSoto. Watched her the last couple years, Chris. She knows what she's doing. She's a little terror.
It's fun to see the growth of the sport through the women's side of things on wrestling. It's really a cool time to be involved with the sport,
Yeah.
see that growth, to be able to watch the girls' state tournament at the same time as the boys in the Cole Center last year was really cool to have that for the first time down there. To continue to see the growth of women's wrestling at the NCAA level, it really is a cool time to be involved with wrestling and to continue to be supportive and grow the sport, because that's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to continue to make this sport great and promote it, is through not just women's wrestling but also through men's wrestling. Up next on mat number 1, we have Edgerton from New Lisbon, and
so we jumping into the semis?
Yeah, it looks like we're jumping into the semis. We're kind of going, we're going to go weight class by weight class, so we're going into the semis as well. So we have Grimslett from North Crawford Seneca and Edgerton from New Lisbon. I've had the opportunity to watch Edgerton a couple times this year, and he's a first-year wrestler as a junior, and there's no quitting this kid. This young man keeps working hard. He's not going to give up an easy pin. He's going to battle every second he's out on the mat, and he's going to make his opponents pay for every point that they score.
Yep, you can see he's got a little fire in his tank. So back at the heavyweight bout there with Brigham. Brigham ended up with a fall, and I believe it was 128 maybe or something like that. It was so Brigham moves on to the semis in the heavyweight division.
And we don't know who won between Owen Callahan and Jaden McGraw. the heavyweight.
I did not
I think
see
that's the one that was down here that was
Yep.
just wham bam. We turned away, and we can blame that one on Christy because she was helping us.
I think River Ridge. I think
Okay.
Callahan won. I think.
Callahan is solid, so I guess we'll wait for it to show up on Chris's
that. Yeah,
track. But I'm guessing Callahan won that.
I would guess. Looks like we had a
All right.
illegal hold, possibly a full Nelson on mat 1. Brings the score to 2-3 in favor of Whirl from River Ridge Cassville.
Grims led with the ball.
Yep, advancing on to the finals. And next up, we're going to have Marks from Hillsboro and Rick from Royal. Again, a semifinal match on mat number 2.
This is a wrestle back on 1, correct?
Yes, yep, we have a wrestle back on 1 and a semifinal
This
match
is
on mat 2.
Okay, we got a semifinal on mat number 2.
Yep, and mat 2 we do have featured right now as the main screen, so we should be watching the semifinal matches, both semifinal matches at 106 on mat number 2. Or at least what we're calling mat number 2. I don't know what the rest of the gym is calling it today.
Oh no, it is. It's like that one's labeled 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have Marks from Hillsboro and Rick from Royal.
End of the second period on mat 1. We have a score of 3-3, so all tied up going into the third period. Hoping for a great finish for both wrestlers here.
We got a quick takedown for Rick over here on mat number 2 in the semis against Marks. 2-0. Well, we got a warning already on Marks. I don't mind that. Refs want to see some action. He hasn't been down there that long, but his head was on the mat, Chris, and he just when the head's down on the mat, the ref's going to say, okay, we're gonna ding you.
Yep, and nothing wrong with that. Keep things moving, keep the action going. It's one thing to put your head down for a second and try to bring it back up, but when you're just hanging your head, not working to improve, that's definitely when they're going to hit you. And this officiating crew again, they're not afraid to call stalling, but they also do a great job of preventative officiating and keeping the action moving and kind of talking through things to these wrestlers as well, and so that way they do understand when those points are going to be coming and what they're going to be expecting.
And Matt Boyer over there, reffing on Matt too. Matt's good. I got a lot of respect for Matt. There's a fall.
Rick with the fall from Royal.
145. That is. So Rick and Grimsled slated for the finals.
Looks like all we have are semifinal matches at 113. I don't see any wrestleback matches until we get into the wrestleback semis. So we're looking at both championship semifinals coming up here at 113. First up on mat number 2, we'll have Grunfeld from Peck Argyle and Hughes from Kickapoo Lafarge. And we're 5-3 on mat number 1 right now in favor of the wrestler from River Ridge Cassville.
Gruenfelder with a quick takedown. Took him about 6-7 seconds to get that.
We're up 5-4 now with 30 seconds left. Yatkin looking for a takedown, trying to battle in for position here. Forehead to forehead, and keeps stalking in, looking for a head throw there. Just needs an easy takedown, get it on the legs, and she can win this match. Keeps battling. Whirl doing a nice job of tying her hands up, keeping that separation, blocking any shots, not necessarily stalling, just doing a nice job of controlling the tempo there, and gets the takedown on the head throw.
Gruenfelder with out to an 8-4, check that, 10-5 lead.
And now that'll bring up Noble from North Crawford Seneca and Milsna from Cashton. Milsna, another pretty common name over in that Cashton area.
Yep.
Fielder looking for the fall. Got a half in.
Gruenfelder is our probably the only one here that's state finalist a year ago. So he's definitely on a mission this year. And there's the fall.
Some would argue he should have been the state champ, but
Yeah, he had a tough. He's a good kid. I've talked to him. I know his dad. Talked to him a little bit. He's just a good boy. He works extremely hard.
And semifinal match underway on mat number 1. We have Noble from North Crawford Seneca, Milsna from Cashton, and looks like Milsna out to the early 2-0 lead.
So, okay, this is the other semifinal?
Yeah, this is the other semifinal, the bottom half of the bracket at at 113. 120 coming up. Looks like we have Burmeister from River Ridge Cassville and Thorgerson from Kickapoo Lafarge in a wrestleback quarterfinal match. I'm going to switch things over to mat 1 for our fans watching right now, so that way they can see the semifinal action over there as Parker Milsna from Cashton continues to work on his lead, build his lead there with a 3-point near fall.
What is this one here?
this is a wrestleback.
You got
Burmeister from River Ridge Cassville and Thorgerson from Kickapoo Lafarge on mat number 2.
okay.
Wrestleback quarterfinal right now on mat number 2 at 120. And Milsna continues to build that lead up to a 7-1 lead with 42 seconds left in the first period.
I'm really glad you brought that computer.
I do.
Some might say it's cheating, but I don't think so.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, exactly. I like your approach.
Sometimes it pays off. It looks like we have Burmeister out to the early 4-1 lead in the second period, or going into the second period. Milsna continuing to look to a pin now and build that lead. We had 3 seconds left in the first period. And that'll add 2 points to his lead. So going into the second period, we have a score of 9-1 on mat 1 in the 113 semifinal.
Now, do you know, Chris, is this Zach's younger brother?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Isn't that quite a contrast?
Yes. Yeah. Could be a cousin as well.
I was thinking that they were brothers, but I don't know. But 6'6" and 280 and
Yep.
what? Oh yeah.
I mean, I should know this. My wife is from Cashton, so
Oh. Okay.
we try not to hold that against her.
All
though.
right.
And Milston continuing to build that lead up 11-1 now. Looking for the fall and gets the fall with 40 seconds in the second period. So 2:40 fall time for Milsna in the semis to advance to the finals. So we should have a great matchup in the finals at 113. We're looking forward to some great action there. And we continue on. We should be seeing the next wrestleback, the second wrestleback quarterfinal with Pangburn from New Lisbon and Brown from New Lisbon. Pangburn being the scoring wrestler and Brown being the unattached wrestler today.
I think that's kind of neat that we do that. I know they don't do it probably anywhere else, but if you have extras, you bring them and just designate who's scoring, who's not.
Yep.
get these kids on the mat, get them some time. You know, it's just. I think I really like it. I
Yep.
think
No, it's great for the fans too. The fans don't want to come here and watch 3 matches, 4 matches at each weight. They want to be entertained, and this is a great way to do that. And if your wrestlers are you have 2 equal wrestlers, that's great. You can use this as your wrestle off then as we get ready for regionals, and the winning wrestler survive in advance.
So what do we got going on down here at 120, Jacob? And we got a 8-5 lead. I don't know.
8-5 in favor of.
Where's he at? Burmeister?
Yes.
Burmeister over
Okay.
Thornton.
So these
We'll switch mats on that one. As we have 2 New Lisbon wrestlers battling on mat 1. We'll let that's a 5-1 match, and we have 8-5 on mat 2. 5-1 on mat number 1 in favor of Pangburn. 7-3. Things change quickly sometimes.
They were flurrying and scoring.
Look away at the other match for a second, and it's like that at the state tournament, or at the bi-state or any big tournament, right? You're watching one match and you hear an ooh over on another mat. You turn and you look and it's too late, but you still want to see what happened. And then by the time you get back, the match you were watching is over, or something big happened. Yeah, something else happened there too.
So it's like you lost twice.
Yep. Pangburn working for the pin and gets the fall in 20 seconds, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And looks like Thorgerson with the fall on mat number 2. That'll bring up our semifinal matches now at 120 up on.
Should be both matches.
Yep, both mats should be showing our semifinals. We should have, I'm assuming on mat 1, I don't see either wrestler reporting in yet, but Lucas Orloff from Pecatonica Argyle and Logan Gajeski from Hillsborough wrestling in the semis. Nope, that's going to be on mat 2. On mat 1, we're going to see Jet Bender from Royal and Ethan Stoll from Ithaca Weston.
Stoll is, don't know a lot about the Ithaca boys, but he was at 26 most of the year and made a drop down, pinched for 20, so there he's at 20. Gets a quick takedown on Bender. Bender, what, is he a freshman? Yeah.
Yep.
So is this Jet Bender from Royal related to Jackson Bender from
Yeah.
Royal at
Probably
150?
Yeah.
wrestling family.
Yeah, wrestling family.
They're brothers?
I believe so, yes.
Bender name is is a wrestling name from Royal.
Yep.
Yeah. Jet, Jackson, Jameson. I mean,
Yep.
there have been quite a few of them. Okay.
Jacob wrestled
Yep.
Jameson.
Over the years, they all kind of run together. You remember a name, you remember last names more than you remember first names.
Oh, yeah.
After being around for a while. And Stoll out to the early lead, 2-1.
Orloff, a 6-1 lead over here on mat number 2. Pretty solid wrestler there, that
Orloff
Orloff
with the
boy.
barbed wire.
Looking
Looks
for a
like
fall.
he's going to get it too, I think. Minute left in the period.
Stoll gets warned for stalling. Just staying parallel. You
Yep.
gotta ride. If you're riding, you gotta get out and be working. Ooh, a little pancake there from Orloff on mat number 2.
Saturday Night Ride.
Fall.
Over the last 5-6 years, this Peck Argyle team has done a great job of building their program and really bringing a lot of tough wrestlers to the table. In dual meets and tournaments, they've really done a nice job down there of growing that team and growing the quality of wrestling in that area. So I look forward to watching that team and watching that area grow in the sport of wrestling and continuing to see things on the rise for them.
Yeah, we're seeing an uptick in a few of these teams now, which is kind of fun to watch.
Let's switch over to our other semifinal at 120. You know, score 2-0 in favor of in favor of Stoll from Ithaca Weston.
But keep in mind, Stoll has been warned for stalling, so
Yep.
he needs to
Continue
pick
to
up the pace here a little bit. Keep working.
At 126, we have our only wrestle back quarterfinal match. It'll be Rhodes from Pecatonica Argyle and Sig, also from Pecatonica Argyle. Not sure who the scoring wrestler is in this situation.
Yeah. Not sure either.
I haven't had the opportunity to really see them in any competition this year.
Right. Another takedown for Stoll. I think he got away and
Yep.
then took him down. So
Yep, he did get the escape, and then so 5-0 lead for Stoll at the halfway point in the second period.
Quick fall over on mat number 2. So Peck Argyle won that.
And that'll, yeah,
Ba-dum-bum.
yep, that'll bring up our first semifinal match. Then at 126 will be Bingham from Ithaca Weston and Gazda from Brookwood.
$7-1 down there on mat number 1. I guess I didn't even see what happened down there, Chris.
No, I missed that. I was bringing up.
Yeah, you were bringing up, and I appreciate you bringing them guys up.
Well, we got actually it looks like it's going to be Radovich from New Lisbon and Jax from New Lisbon on mat number 2.
So that's a wrestle back.
No, that is a semifinal match. That's the second. That's the bottom half of the bracket at 126. So Radovich being the scoring wrestler and Jax being the JV wrestler in this situation.
Must have some blood here. Or something. I don't know what's going on. They stopped. Okay, Stoll's bleeding. Stoll had Bender in some trouble, but then they called it so there's blood. So.
Well, we're waiting on blood time to clean up on that mat. We'll switch over to the other.
I didn't get anything wrote down for 126.
I did. I'm not sure what Pecatonica Argyle kid won. I don't know. I don't believe they said a name after that match.
So Brookwood, so Gazda. Cashton Gazda, that from Brookwood. That's confusing. Wait a minute.
And we have wrestling action going back on mat number 1 now. We'll switch back over to that as we finish up the 120 semifinal, heading into the third period. Stoll with a 10-1 lead.
So Radovich, I'm assuming, is the scoring wrestler from New Lisbon.
Yes. Yep, Radovich is the scoring wrestler from New Lisbon. Stoll up 12-1, continuing to build his lead, looks like he's looking for a tilt here or just to flatten him out and turn him.
So is that Radovich then with the lead then, Chris?
Yes. Yep.
I don't know the boys, so.
Yep, Radovich with the 2-0 lead.
Okay. 2-1 lead.
2-1.
He just said. Oh no, I guess that's, I'm bad. Second period, he got his choice and chose neutral. I thought he let him up. 2-zip.
And And Stoll with a 12-2 lead. Strike that 14-2 lead. Take down and go behind there. As we continue to work through some of this action, take a moment to notate some of our sponsors for today's broadcast: Advanced Pump and Well Solutions, the Bank of Cashton, Black River Falls Wrestling Club, and the Boscobel Wazeeka Steuben Wrestling Club, Brookwood Wrestling Club and Green Repair, Campbell's Mobile and Solar Meats, Cashton Farm Supply, and Cashton Wrestling Club. We'll continue to mention our sponsors throughout the day. So thank you everybody who has sponsored this broadcast and all of the broadcasts in the area. We are grateful for your donations, so that way we can continue to grow the sport and promote the sport of wrestling.
So we got a fall there on mat 2, Chris, and 102.
And a 14-3 victory for Stoll. That'll bring up, we'll see what that brings up for mat number 1. Looks like we have Gazda and Bingham. Gazda from Brookwood and Bingham from Ithaca Weston. Mat 2, 126. That's the top half of the bracket semifinal. And we'll see what we bring up at 132. Looks like we have a wrestleback quarterfinal match. It'll be Ben Radovich from New Lisbon and Mo from Ithaca Weston, Hunter Mo from Ithaca Weston. So we keep the action focused on your big screen on mat number 2, as that's our second semifinal match at 126. And looks like we have Gazda out to a 2-0 lead.
Bingham boy was the Ithaca Weston's 120-pounder, but lost in a wrestle off to Stoll, so he decided to move on up to keep a spot, I guess. Comes through with a big reversal there. Blake is a freshman from Weston. Got a couple boys from Weston on the varsity this year.
Situation on mat number 1. Looks like Radovich is really pushing the tempo in this match against Mo from Ithaca Weston.
Two Radovich boys, huh?
Yep, brothers.
Okay. Yep. Blake got himself in a little trouble there.
Yep. Saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell. Ding-a-ling, there's the bell.
7-0 lead there by Gazda. I mean, that's going into the second period. A lot of wrestling left to happen there. 5-point move can sure make a difference.
Yep. Sure did in that case, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
How old is this Gazda boy? 11th grade. Okay, junior.
Bingham only being a freshman, he did the number 1 seed.
That's impressive.
Well, at this point, they strictly go on percentage, right?
Yeah, there's a couple other.
I suppose they do head-to-head?
They have head-to-head. I don't remember what all the criteria are and if anything had changed from last year to this year. But, yeah, for the most part, you're looking at, your record. We might have a state qualifier criteria for this conference tournament. But, yeah, once you get into regionals, there's really no criteria. It's strictly head-to-head and your record. There's nothing else. The WIA doesn't really care about your resume as from years past. They want to know what you did this year for your seeding, and then we continue to seed as we go through. That was really interesting seeing the seeding at the state tournament last year. In the past, your sectional champions and your regional champions have gotten that first round bye moving on from the regional tournament to the sectional tournament. Well, not regionals to sectionals, but sectionals to the state tournament. And this year you didn't really have that benefit from winning your sectional and having the opportunity to, just make weight and not have to wrestle that first night. There were a lot of sectional champions that had to wrestle that first night at the state tournament and wrestle their way into the tournament. So, we'll continue to see how that pans out. I mean, the goal with seeding is obviously to get your best wrestlers in a position to meet up in the finals. And, that's what we want. We want the best wrestlers in the finals. We don't want to see your state championship, what should be your state championship match in the semifinals at any given weight.
Right. Yep. So Gazda with the fall over Bingham. I did not catch that time, but so Gazda moves into the finals. And I don't know who.
At 132, we're looking at Ewing from Kickapoo Lafarge and Hora from Hillsborough.
Both being wrestle back.
Yes, both wrestle back matches here on.
Okay, so Radovich won. I missed that. Is in the finals in Gaza.
Yes, So the finals at 126 will be Alex Radovich from New Lisbon and Casting Gazda from Brookwood.
Both of these are wrestleback.
These are both wrestleback matches going on now. Yes.
At 132.
Yep, 132 wrestleback matches.
So the stage is set for 126.
Yep, we'll have our wrestleback semis coming up after this round, and as our semifinal losers will wrestle to see who goes on to wrestle in the third place match.
Yep.
So a lot of wrestling left in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, especially as we place out to 5th place in this tournament. So we have plenty of wrestling at each weight and plenty of wrestling going on today. So these first couple rounds tend to go pretty quick, but then as we don't really eliminate a lot of wrestlers. So in fact, as we go through, because we had some weights where we only had 3 or 4 wrestlers, we're adding wrestlers to each round now instead of subtracting wrestlers from each round.
Correct. Yep. And that's good. That's a good thing for these boys.
Yep.
And girls, I guess.
And Ben Radovich with the win on mat number 1. That'll bring up now our first semifinal match at 132. So we'll switch over the camera, and it looks like we have Wopet from Royal, number 1 seed, and Pykonen from Brookwood, our number 3 seed. Number 4 seed, sorry.
Correct. Yep.
Wopet out to
just keeps the pressure on, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
He's in your face all the time.
Yep, and he's not going to let up until he gets what he wants.
Yep.
Good to see Mike Nicolati back out on the mat this year, too, after, midway through the season with some back injuries last year and wasn't able to finish out the season as he would have liked. And
I didn't realize
that. Yep. So he had a couple of back surgeries, and, he's doing good now, and I'm glad to see him back up and moving around and back out on the mat.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch Mike just progress through the system, the officiating system, I guess you call it.
Yep.
He's a really good ref.
Yep. Yes, he is. And, I look at Brad Rosh down there on on mat number 2, and having these Matt Boyer, Scott Brookman, and Mike Nicolotti as mentors for him to bring him up through the system. His future is going to be really, really bright as a young official in the WIAA, and I can't wait to see what things bring for him too as he continues to grow and develop as an official.
Yeah. Where is he from? Do you know?
Westby.
From Westby.
Yep.
He's a cop, right?
Yes.
An officer?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Pretty good match on that too. 7-6. Oh, I got a takedown for Hillsborough.
You got a 1-point match there, huh?
Both of them had each other on their backs. It's just been a real back and forth.
12-4 on that one. Gunners off to a comfortable lead.
Another reversal on that too. Isn't awarded it yet. There it is.
Gunner up 15-4 now with a minute 45 left in the second period.
You got to think he's looking for tech
Yep.
fall or at least get close to it and then work for a fall.
Yeah, 17-5 now. So, he's got one. He's going to concede the takedown or escape here. Yep, there's the escape. Puts it 17-6, and there's another takedown for him. Puts him at 19-6. So, he's got really one turn. Well, he's going to concede the escape. Got him up by rule. Starting neutral by rule. So concede another point. 19-7. That's a 12-point lead. This takedown will put it at a 14-point lead. If he concedes the escape here and gets the takedown, that'll be a tech fall. It looks like that's what his plan is.
He's just super comfortable on his feet.
Yep.
I like to see that.
Yeah, nice aggressive wrestler. Not gonna slow things down. He's gonna work his match and get his match and get his mat time in today. Get that time in now because next weekend, the following weekend, you want to get on and off the mat as quick as you can.
It's do or die. Yeah.